Welcome back, everybody, to another crocodilian tear-filled courtroom episode of Lockdown 23 and 1. That's right, crocodilian tear-filled it is. We're going to be speaking on Catherine Rastelli today. She pled guilty to the murder and conspiracy to commit murder on her own husband. I'm going to break down exactly what took place as well as witness her get sentenced in the courtroom today and a very powerful victim impact statement coming from the victim's brother. Now, let's get into it, ladies and gentlemen, but first, as always, if you're new to the channel and enjoy all things lockup and crime related, then this is where you want to be. Hit that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave, and check out my beautifully assorted playlist with many more videos for you to start watching today. Alright, like I said, a quick rundown on this lady's crimes before we get into the courtroom to witness her get sentenced for them. It says Catherine Rastelli pleaded guilty to murder and conspiracy to commit murder charges in July, both second-degree felonies. Her arrest came after her husband, Matthew Rastelli, was shot and killed a year earlier. Rastelli admitted to conspiring with her mother and brother to lure the 42-year-old Matthew to Utah from California in July 2024, leading him to believe that she wished to repair their marriage. Catherine told Matthew that when he arrived at her mother's American Fork home, he should come right in, as the door was unlocked. Man, just imagine how happy that dude probably was, thinking he was going to get his whole family back. His wife loves him and wants to work things out. Well, Matthew does exactly what she says. Once inside, he was shot and killed by Kevin Ellis, his brother-in-law. Family originally told police that the shooting was in self-defense, but an investigation noted that a knife found in Matthew's hand had been placed there in a strange way, noting it did not appear that Matthew was holding this knife when he was shot. It appeared that a knife had been deliberately placed into Matthew's right hand after he had been shot dead. Matthew and Catherine lived in California but were having marriage problems, so Catherine came to Utah with their children to stay with her mother, Tracy Grist. Upon learning that Matthew wanted to bring the children back to California, she lied to him, claiming she was willing to return with the family. During the investigation into Matthew's death, detectives seized the phones of Catherine Grist and Ellis and found that they were tracking Matthew as he made his way to Utah via an AirTag. While Ellis allegedly shot Matthew on July 12, 2024, Catherine was in the bedroom in the house, probably hiding from the situation. She didn't even want to see it. Despicable, and that's why I'm letting the victim impact statement play today. Because if it was my brother that lost his life, I'd go into courtroom saying the same kind of stuff. If not worse, right? But Catherine pled guilty to reduced counts of murder and conspiracy as part of a plea deal that saw other counts dismissed, and that's what we're going to witness in the courtroom today as well. And Ellis and Grist, I forgot to mention, they're still awaiting trial. I'll keep you updated with that, and if they bring the sentence into the YouTube realm, you know I'll be reacting to that as well. But in the meantime, like I said, let's jump into courtroom today and start with the victim impact statement.
From the moment you crawled into my brother's life, you were determined to marry Matt, become a Rastelli, and start making babies. You were obsessed over it. You clawed at it. And eventually you got what you wanted. You had everything. But Catherine can't have nice things because she breaks them like a toddler. And then you went and did it. You murdered the man that gave you everything you dreamed about. The man that gave you a family, your children, and our name, Rastelli, the name you obsessed over. You are no Rastelli, and you never were. It makes me sick to think that name is associated with you in any way. You are and always will be Catherine Ellis, a mere image of your twisted mother, Tracy, a fraud, a black widow who devoured the man who defended you more than anyone else ever did. From day one, the red flags were there. What started that day was over a decade of psychotic behavior and abuse, a pattern of behavior and conflict that continues to this day, a black widow's pattern. Catherine first introduced herself to me in a Facebook message. Before I had even opened it, she had sent a second message saying that she and Matt had broken up and she was blocking me. We haven't even spoken. I have no idea who she is, but I was blocked. That's Catherine, erratic, childish, like a teenager stuck in an adult's body.
Yeah, what kind of psycho does that?
In the coming years at family events, we walked on eggshells, waiting for the explosion. Would she blow up over nothing or pass out drunk before dinner? It happened every time. It was inevitable.
Sick.
The pattern continues. The last time I saw Catherine before murdering Matt was at my mother's wedding reception in March of 2022. It was supposed to be a day of fun and celebration, but not with Catherine around. Multiple conflicts sprung up, and in front of all the guests, Catherine screamed at Matt's oldest son, "You're not my son! You didn't come from my loins! I didn't spread my legs and birth you!" Filthy, venomous trash from a filthy spider's mouth.
Whoa,
the pattern
man.
continues. I refused to stand as a groomsman at Catherine and Matt's wedding because I couldn't, in good conscience, support his marriage to her. Because even then, I saw right through her. 8 legs, an hourglass, fangs, and dead eyes. She was transparent to me. At that same wedding, I met Catherine's mother, Tracy, for the first time. Before even introducing herself, her first words she ever spoke to me were, "You know Katie's not a bad person." Looking back, that's laughable. Because we all know the truth. She's not a bad person. She's the worst kind of person. She's a murderer, and so are you, Tracy and Kevin, an evil family of spiders.
That was probably the most satisfyingly perfect victim impact statement I could have ever heard. But now let's roll into what Catherine Rastelli has to say before she gets sentenced for her crimes.
Correct.
Bobby Hewitt. Sniffles with no tears. Already. Crocodilia.
I'm so very deeply sorry for the pain that I've caused. I understand that my apology will never be enough to heal the hurt that Matt's death has caused and continues to cause. He didn't deserve it. If I had the power to bring him back, I would. I know that my actions directly caused Matt's death. And for my part, I realized the devastation I caused. I didn't think about the pain it would cause. My heart breaks for his children, his family, his friends, and his community. At this
The monitor's right in my face, and I'm not seeing not one glimmer from the tear duct. That thing's drier than what? The Sahara Desert! My lips parched watching this girl try to squeeze one of them things out that lemon. Let's all calm down a little bit, alright, and just roll right into the sentencing. Yep, go ahead and fold up that worthless apology. At least to me it was. I don't think she meant not one bit of it.
Mistake, that should be done. All right, thank you. In taking notes of the information I received today, I read all the letters that were submitted to the court from both sides prior to court today. I've fully studied out the statement in advance of plea. I also went over my notes from the preliminary hearings in this matter to make sure my memory was correct.
Your Honor, just briefly, I apologize. We would be asking for a continuous protective order.
I've already got that in my notes.
Perfect, thank you.
All right, thank you. The court cannot add to what was said by Mr. Rastelli's family members today to describe the type of person that he clearly was. As time passes, I hope that his family will be able to only recall the good memories that you have of him, and that you'll be able to put behind you the tragic events of July of 2024. I'm sure that will take time, but I hope that can occur. Ms. Rastelli, what struck me in the numerous statements in your letters of support that I received was that you quote-unquote loved your children. That's simply not true. Your selfish actions show that you didn't love your children at all. You made them victims.
Ooh.
And let me be clear, your children are victims of your actions. They'll be lifetime victims of your actions, and they deserve to grow up without you in their lives. Your actions the day after the events of July show how callous and uncaring you were towards your children and what you did to their father. You tell me in your statement in advance of plea or your pre-sentence report that you wanted to back out of the plan to kill your husband. Yeah, hours after their father was killed, you were preparing for a date, according to a friend of yours from this court.
Hours after his death, she was planning a hot, spicy date. Despicable. And the judge is using the best verbiage I think I've heard a judge use in quite a while when describing the heinocity of this lady's crimes.
You were preparing for a date, according to a friend of yours from this court. And you were showing off the scene of a crime to those friends like it was a trophy.
Wow.
When you received condolences from a friend of yours from Discord, you said, quote, "It's okay, I'm happy." With those brief facts in mind, I'm going to proceed for sentencing.
Here we go, Bobo.
Restitution. There's a stipulation to $2,500 at this time. Further restitution is to remain open as allowed by statute. It's required by state law. I'm going to order a $53 court security fee for each count. Fines and fees will be sent to the Office of State Debt Collection. I will waive the fine in this matter. Any assets that you have should go to your children for their support and the restitution for them. I am going to enter a continuous protective order. That means you can have no contact with your children directly or indirectly. And if you violate that, new felony charges can be brought against you. By statute, the presumption is that they would run consecutive to your current sentence. Allowed by statute and as required, I will give you credit for time served, which the parties believe is 316 days at this time. I do know that both the state and your attorney have discussed that your offer is based upon your willingness to cooperate with law enforcement. That was reflected in the plea deal that was offered to you, which included the stipulated sentence. That doesn't, however, change what you did and how you did it, or what you did during July of 2024 to your husband. For the family, I do need to point out that we have an indeterminate sentencing system in the state of Utah. I impose a range, and the Utah State Parole Board will ultimately decide how much time Ms. Rastelli will serve in prison. As to count 1, murder, a second-degree felony, I impose a statutory maximum of 1 to 15 years in the Utah State Prison. As to count 2, conspiracy to commit murder, domestic violence, also a second-degree felony, I impose a statutory maximum allowed by state law of 1 to 15 years in the Utah State Prison. As to count 3, felony discharge of a firearm, domestic violence, a first-degree felony, I impose the statutory maximum, according to state law, of 5 years to life in prison. Counts 1 and 3 will run consecutive to each other. By stipulation, count 2 will run concurrent. Do note, Ms. Rastelli, you have 30 days to appeal the sentence. On an appeal, if you qualify and request the same, an attorney will be appointed to represent you. Any questions from the state?
Thank you.
Any questions from the defense?
None.
All right, thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This court will be in recess.
Thank you.
All right.
You don't deserve that name, man. Follow the smoke trail straight to that rat. Eat some more honey buns while you're in there. Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know exactly if she got smoked or not, to be completely honest. She got sentenced to 1 year, 1 year, and 5 years. That 1 year ran consecutive with the 5, and the other 1 year ran concurrent with them all. So that means in 6 years, she very well could be released by the parole board. Or her maximum penalty, as you heard the judge say, was life. The parole board could leave her in there and never let her out as long as she lives. So who knows, you know? If I were to guess, she's going to have decades of hope and trying to get out in that parole hearing, but they're just going to keep on denying her if I were to guess. Once I hear all the facts to the story, right, this is the most diabolical thing you could think of. Baiting your husband over there with love and killing him as he walks through the front door, completely unaware of the situation coming his way. Man. But once again, my condolences go out to old Matthew's family. Seems like he was a good guy, man, just fell in love with the wrong person. Tell people all the time, one of the most important decisions of your life is who you decide to give your heart to. That significant other could either build you up and make you way better than you could ever imagine, or they can bring you down deeper than any pit you ever been in. It's a hard decision sometimes to walk away, but you gotta recognize the flags. If they're there, run. In the meantime, though, ladies and gentlemen, as always, if you're new and enjoy, tap that like, subscribe, notification bell before you leave. And more importantly than anything, y'all be easy, be safe, and stay free.